Hello and welcome. What the fuck? We'll just restart that. Blip, 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 blip. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Three's a Crime, a true crime podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Lindsey.
And that's our intro.
Here we are professional podcasters.
We're podcasters, bitches.
Jacob's is closed because they're fucking Christians or something. I don't know. Stupid. It's. I'm going to Dutch fuck, but Dutch. Goodbye. Hi.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Welcome to Three's a Crime.
We're Three's a Crime. Tori made us tea.
Yep.
I did. London fog.
Sure, I'm going to tell you about Joel Guy
Osteen.
Jr.
I'm just kidding. Joel Guy Jr.?
Guy, G-U-Y, is the last name. Guys.
Okay. Why are we playing this?
Jack and Diane. She's got
She has
something
a
going.
reason.
She has her reasons.
Let me tell you a little ditty about an entitled fuck-ass man. A 28-year-old child who grew up in the Knoxville, Tennessee land. That's it.
Best intro ever.
Best intro.
Welcome to the world of Joe Michael Jr. Joe Michael Guy Jr. Known to his family as Joe Michael and or Joel Jr. Joel Sr. was married to another woman before he married Lisa, and he had 3 girls with a previous wife. In 1988, Joel and his second wife, Lisa Guy, had their only child together, Joe Michael. All I could find out about his early life...
George Michael.
From
Arrested Development. George Michael.
Oh, George Michael.
Never nudes.
Never nude. So all I could find out about his early life was that he was a loner, distant, never tried to have any kind of relationships, and he hid in his room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He went to high school at Hunville, and this is in Tennessee, so I'm going to fuck shit up, and I apologize.
Okay.
In 2006, he graduated from Louisiana School for Math, Science, and the Arts in Natchitoches.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah,
I'm sorry, everybody.
Natchitoches is what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's where the Steel Magnolia house is, I think.
Oh.
Like where they filmed Steel
That makes
Magnolias.
sense. Sometime after that, he attended Louisiana State University to become a plastic surgeon. Because I know that I would want to totally get some filler and boobs from this fucking man-child. So Lisa was a goddamn wonderful mom. She truly gave all she could for her son. She stayed home with Joel while he grew up, and at some point when he didn't need any constant supervision, she got a job in HR working as an accounts payable administrator. Joel Sr. was a pipeline engineer.
Oh, shit.
So I had to look that up because it sounds important, and it is. They design and construct pipe systems to transport shit like gas and oil. His parents lived in a house in Knoxville for at least the life of Joel Jr. and maybe sometime before. Joel Jr. had been living in Baton Rouge, though, at that time for about 10 years. So, he moved out and he was living on his own for 10 years. In 2016, after being married for 31 years, Lisa, 55, and Joel Sr., 61, were ready to fucking retire, dogs.
Retire.
They were planning on selling their house and moving into Joel Sr.'s mom's house in Surgeonsville.
Is that where surgeons live? Because it seems like that's where they...
Surgeonsville? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Circumcisionville.
Surginsville. Sville. Let us spell it. Joel Jr. was 28 years old and had never had a job.
Wow.
The majority of Lisa's paycheck was going straight to fucking Joel Jr.
Ew.
They paid for everything. Living expenses, food, insurance, shit like that. He was their baby boy, and Lisa absolutely doted on him. She kept his childhood room in pristine condition, left it all as it was. He rarely came home for the holidays or visit at all, and he rarely even called his family.
He paid for all your shit.
Ungrateful
you just
little bastard.
Okay.
Yes. From what the daughters said, his parents were totally fine supporting him because they were hoping after he graduated, he'll be on an episode of Nip Tuck and he would be able to take care of shit himself.
That was like their goal in life.
Well, they were kind of hoping when he became a plastic surgeon, he would be can support himself.
Fake dramatic TV show.
Right. Well, I put him on Nip Tuck because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, you just
he didn't want to.
Right.
Yeah, it was just a joke.
He was like, he'll be on Nip Tuck one day, and I'm like,
that's on a weird show.
What a straight. Oh my god.
That doesn't is not run for years. That was just my joke.
That was funny. Okay.
He would fit perfectly on that show.
Oh my god. Yeah. That was a good show. I liked that show.
It was a good show, and then it kind of went off the rails.
So as Lisa and Joel Sr. got to retiring age, they're like, all right, let's be done working and do retirement shit. And his parents let Joel Jr. know what their plans were, giving him a good chunk of time to prepare to be a fucking adult. With his parents retiring, they couldn't support themselves, and Joel Michael, Angela, one of his half-sisters, said, quote, our dad said that Joel Michael was going to be cut off and was going to have to stand on his own 2 feet. Lisa agreed. Okay, it's Thanksgiving 2016. The whole Guy family got together to celebrate turkey and stuffing. They had already sold the house, and they all had plans to have a big old Christmas reunion in Joel Sr.'s childhood home that they were going to move into. That house was only about 90 minutes away from where they were living there and from the daughters. During that Thanksgiving, Joel Jr. stayed in his old bedroom, which, had been memorialized, but he didn't hide in his room this time. He talked with his family. Red alert. Alert. He also was...
Red alert. Red alert.
I wrote, red alert, red alert. He was also offering his old toys to his sister's kids.
Oh, no.
His sister said, quote, I don't think he even knew my kids' names.
Wow.
This is from the trial. These quotes are from the trial. So now let's rewind a little. Literally.
Here we go.
Let's be kind and rewind all the footage of Joel Jr.'s adventures. Before Thanksgiving, Joel Michael was doing some shopping. On November 7th, he went to Ace Hardware and got himself some good old chemicals.
Uh-oh.
Shit like muriatic acid and food-grade hydrogen peroxide.
What the fuck is food-grade hydrogen peroxide?
What the fuck is muriatic acid is what I said.
I don't know.
But according to BobVila.com, it's used to clean concrete walls and floors, and can cause severe burns if it touches your fucking skin.
Ooh.
If you inhale the fumes, it will also fucking burn your lungs and nose lining. Don't let Tim Taylor know.
Tim Taylor.
I looked on the Bob Vila website.
Tim Taylor. I love that was one of your sources for this story.
It came up on its own, so I had to throw in Tim Taylor. On November 8th, Joel Jr. is seen on camera at Home Depot.
Home Depot.
I call it Home
Depot.
And it looks like he's got a big job to do, guys. He buys some extension cords and a bleach sprayer.
Oh, wow.
So first he went to Ace the place
Hardware.
with the friendly
With
with the helpful
place.
hardware
Yeah.
folks.
Yes.
And then he went to Home Depot.
Yep. For a
Okay.
bleach sprayer and extension cords.
Okay.
Because, that all sounds totally innocent.
Totally. Like, also the day after and only paying in cash and using the self-checkout area.
And going, to multiple stores.
Yep. On November 19th, Joel Jr. is at Academy Sports and buys himself a Marine-style car bar knife. He buys a crazy fucking knife. It's a fighting knife and is very sharp and looks like it requires a professional to operate it. He is not. November 21st, he's seen at Walmart getting 2 large plastic bins.
Oh, this just is not bad.
Along the way, he also picked up some plastic sheeting. All right, now we've returned the videotapes and we're back to November 23rd, 24th. The daughters leave that night and they're all stoked to see each other at Christmas. Joel Jr. is supposed to leave that Friday, heading back home to Baton Rouge. During this holiday hang sesh, Joel Jr. has been officially cut off financially.
Ooh. And he knows it?
Yes, he's been told.
And he pissed?
He was told ahead of time and he's been told and then
He's
told
been told
and
told again, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do we want to bet that he was still not prepared?
I don't want to bet because he's not prepared.
I don't want
I
that.
I don't.
I read that it was Friday and Monday, but Lisa's scheduled to go back to work for her last day. And that's her retirement party in her honor. And so after a while, Lisa's supervisor, Jennifer, can't get a hold of her after calling several times. Not showing up or calling if she's not able to somewhere is totally unlike Lisa. So her fellow coworkers really find this alarming. Jennifer calls the police and asks for a welfare check to happen at the guys' house. So I watched the body cam footage of the police and all the shit they saw as they came upon the house. Here's my play-by-play. So you can immerse yourself in the VR experience. Okay, so the cops show up to the house and the first thing they notice as they walk to the front door is that there are 2 cars parked in the driveway. And the light in the foyer. I heard about
It's
foyer.
both. I think it's either. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I like foyer.
Foyer.
And the light in the foyer is on. They notice that the house has a for sale sign in the front yard, but they don't know that it's in the process of being sold. But that the real estate lock is not on the front door, like it should be. They knock on the door and ring the doorbell, but there's no answer. After looking through the window, on the door, they see that there's just groceries sitting on the floor, stuff like ice cream and beer and
Like
bacon,
things that shouldn't
you
be
can-
on the
Right.
floor.
So they go around to the back of the house and see that things seem even more fucking weird. The doorknob on the back door has been taken off and that was put on the front door. They also just notice how hot the house is. And they haven't even opened anything yet. And they can kind of smell something weird.
Oh, this takes me back to good hearts.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I keep thinking.
And they can also hear a dog faintly barking. No animal abuse happens. No animal bad things. Nothing. One of the officers looks in the car and opens the door. And it's like, okay, I'm going to use the garage door opener. And so they walk through the garage. And they're shouting, "Sheriff's office, is anyone home? Police, welfare check." And they're yelling and screaming this. So the door that connects to the garage to the kitchen, it was unlocked. And they enter that way. They get no response, but like they're holding their guns as if it could be an issue. They walked through the house and noticed how fucking hot it was in there. Like somebody turned the heat way up.
Nope.
There was also a weird chemical smell happening.
Hate that.
In the dining room, they noticed that there's some weird shit on the floor. Stuff like bottles of bleach, giant bag of baking soda, plastic bags, and white bleach towels. In the kitchen, there's a little table and chairs, and they find a women's and men's wallet sitting open, car keys, a purse, a phone with money under it, and a hammer. In the kitchen, they see that the stove is set to super high heat, and there's a huge stock pot on the stove, top covered in a lid. They walk through the kitchen into the
Is there a person in the pot?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a person in the pot.
You'll find out.
This is like if this is Catherine Knight having a love child with the murders. That's what she is telling us. Oh my god. Uh-huh. There's a person in that fucking pot. God damn it. God damn it.
I was halfway through and I was like, why the fuck did I pick this fucking story? But I was almost done. They walk through the kitchen into the formal dining room. There's 2 shotguns and a rifle on a lace tablecloth on the table. And
how very Instagrammy.
There's so much like ammo. They're just hanging out on the table. And the heat has been set to 90 degrees for the bottom floor. So they don't find anyone downstairs. And so they get ready to check the upstairs. They walk up the stairs and are able to, they hear the dog barking from one of the rooms.
I have a question now.
Yes.
Can you imagine being an officer? You've already cleared the downstairs. Now you've got to go upstairs.
You know what's up there.
So they walk up the stairs and they hear the dog barking and more yelling that welfare check, all that. As they walk up the stairs, they see brownish red spots all over the carpeted stairs and on the walls and banister. Up on the landing, straight ahead, they find an open door. And there was blood all over the ground and on the walls. When I was watching part of the trial, they're not allowed to say it's blood until it's like factually tested
and approved.
So they call it RBS, red brownish stain.
Got it.
My brain was like red blood spatter.
Yeah, that's what.
Too much CSI.
Yeah. On the top of the steps that go into the landing hallway, like there's a big hallway landing with doors. There are clothes and shoes sitting on the floor, and there's tubs of chemicals along with some jewelry next to the clothes. There's a big fucking blood stain on the floor next to one of those tubs, and whatever is in the chemicals that are in them. As they clear the rooms, they don't say what happens to the dog, but I'm assuming they got the dog out of there. At the end of the hall, they see some hands. And they go up cautiously to see what the fuck and find human hands. Blood all over, just sitting on the ground, not attached to anything. One officer says, "Those are fucking hands!" As they go into the master bedroom looking for someone with missing hands, they walk into a wall.
Looking for someone's sans hands.
Yep. They walk into a wall of chemical smell.
No.
There are bottles on the ground and garbage bags strewn about, and a tall space heater is on full blast.
Oh, gross.
The upstairs temp control panel reads 95 degrees up there. So there's a Post-it on the dresser in the master bedroom, and it says this. Okay, it's like bulleted 401k 53k, bank 20k, insurance 75k, hold my old dead ashes, LOL, and sprinkle us both after you pass at Buzzard's Roost by Angela. Tell all my children I love them, and as you should know, I do truly love you. I have had a blast. Some signature, and then 12/19/2013.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Was he trying to make it look like his parents committed suicide?
He was trying to make it like his dad killed his mom, and then
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But and that's what he thought his father would say.
I think so. They never said anything about these Post-it. As they walk into the master bathroom, another smell hits them. The floor is covered with plastic sheeting, and a garden hose was attached to the shower head, and there's a big old Michael Myers type knife in the sink.
Ew.
Next to the bathtub are 2 large Rubbermaid tubs. Inside the tubs were the dismembered bodies of Joel and Lisa. The pieces were dissolving and or just sitting in some kind of dissolving liquid.
I'm my brain said goo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bathroom off of the hallway upstairs, and this seems to be where he dumped all the shit he was using, rubber gloves, rubbering alcohol, toilet paper, like, and the knife that was bought by Joel. Everything's covered in blood, just like sitting on the sink area. In the final room upstairs is the guest exercise room, and there's a pile of clothes that look like they belong to Joel Sr. and 2 more butcher knives.
He's just really spread out in this house, isn't he?
Yeah. This is the room that contains the severed set of male human hands. And there is blood all over. It took police and forensics 2 days to go over everything in that house to find everything.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
So this is what seems to have happened in the house. On Saturday the 26th, Joel Sr. was attacked first. He was killed in the exercise / human hand room.
He has a hand chair in it.
There's a hand schwa in it. The fuck? God damn it.
God.
Hotel Cecil still haunts
We're just
me.
all full of throwbacks, man.
Yeah, this is the culmination episode.
Yeah, this
where everything we've done so
is all
far
just coming back
pretty
around.
much, yeah.
converged. Like, I feel like we're in some weird tiny
Parallel universe.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so Joel Sr. was stabbed at least 42 times.
Wow.
See, the problem with trying to find out how these people were killed was that both bodies were dismembered. So the majority of the stabbing that Joel Sr. received was on his back while he was alive.
And how did this kid think that it was going to look like his dad had done? Like, he obviously couldn't stab himself in the back. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, this kid's a dumbass.
Yeah, he is. There were cuts on Joel Sr.'s hands that showed that he tried to protect himself. Joel Jr. left his dad's hands in the room next to the thrown over motherfucking Bowflex. The Bowflex got pushed over. There's a huge blood stain in the corner, and then kind of in the middle are hands.
No, okay, you know what?
Okay, so while Joel Sr. was being murdered, Lisa was all at Walmart doing shopping. All of the groceries that were left in the front door in the foyer.
Gross.
As she walked in the door, Lisa set all the groceries down and went upstairs, and then she was fucking taken out, like right away. She was stabbed about 31 times from a sharp object, including severing 9 of her ribs.
Ow.
Yeah. When the medical examiner tried to find a main cause of death, it was hard because her body was dismembered as well as sitting in the chemicals dissolving the parts. So, like, the only skin that survived was what was not in the goo.
Wow.
So now that Joel and Lisa are dead, the murderer starts the process of taking their bodies apart. Joel Sr.'s arms are taken off at the joint.
Like a chicken.
His leg, yeah.
Sorry.
His legs were removed from the hips.
Like a chicken.
That's what I completely thought of.
How did this kid know how to do
That's
this?
what I'm
He's
saying.
going to
I
school
wonder.
to be a plastic surgeon.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm so dumb. How did I forget that?
So the legs were removed from his hips, and the ankle was separated from his leg.
Don't like that.
The body parts were then put into one of those tubs that was filled with chemicals. And the medical examiner said that, the only skin left was what was on his Joel Sr.'s back. Also, a large cut was inflicted after their deaths to help the chemicals dissolve the parts faster and better. Lisa's arms were taken off her body, along with her legs being removed from the knees. Her head was severed from the body. Her torso and body parts were put into the second Rubbermaid tub. So remember that big old pot on the stove, guys?
Nope.
Yeah. That's just cooking away. That was filled with Lisa's head. And it was stewing away on that stove for 2 days before it was found.
I was wondering why you didn't tell us they opened it when they walked in.
Like, what kind of a mummified sort of state, like, would that face be in?
Well, if it was boiling for 2 days, there'd be no skin left on it. It would just be a skull.
God, you'd have to just keep adding water to that pot.
I don't know.
Right? Well, all right, look. Have you ever, like, gone to make, like, mac and cheese and then you walk off and you forget, like...
But it has a lid on it, so it'll hold it in longer, won't it?
Well, I mean, that's how I make my chicken stock. And after I cook my chicken stock all day in a huge stock pot, and heads occasionally if I have them on hand. And
Tori's face.
Yeah, and I leave the lid just cracked and then on super low, but I still have to add water like every 4 hours or so. Like a significant amount.
Yeah.
So someone would have to tend to it, or it would just evaporate all the water and just be a head on a stove.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I don't like these stories.
I didn't
That's why we love
know.
telling them to you.
Yes. Okay, so the police, they looked.
So they just found the head.
They found all this shit, and they're like, okay, let's check the CCTV footage around this house and see if we can find anybody suspicious. And who'd they find buying shit at Walmart with bandaged hands? Motherfucking Joel Jr. So he literally is just like walking in and shopping like he's just getting his groceries for the day. It's just a normal kind of day.
No, it's not.
He went to get more supplies to clean and then burn the house down. But while he was gone, that's when the police found the scene.
Why did he have the heat turned up so high? Are you going to tell us that?
Yeah, he's trying to get the same reason they did in Gephardt. Trying to make the bodies decompose faster.
Yeah, just trying to get the evidence.
Gotcha. Okay, so the head was literally
possible.
only in the pot for that. It's not that he was going to eat something.
No, because he literally just went home back to Baton Rouge.
Amazing.
He just left it all like that because he's like, oh, I can just come back and do it later.
I don't know, but I tell you something, like, this is just one of the reasons why I didn't have children. Because, like... You know, yes, statistically, it's improbable that you're going to raise a serial killer, but it happens to some people.
Mm-hmm.
So on November 29th, the police go and arrest Joel Jr. In Baton Rouge. He wanted to get his hands taken care of before he finished his plan to burn the house down. So he went there to go get his hands fixed. Went home to bed.
Yeah, it's nice. Sleep tight, little angel.
They used the evidence of the items in the house to what he bought at Walmart. So when they arrested him, to make it legal to arrest him, they arrested him. His hands were all fucked up with scratches and bloody cuts. And when they searched his car, they found a gas can and a brand new, ready-to-use meat grinder.
Ew! Oh, God, no. Like, are we almost done?
I didn't know that was involved until almost the end.
That's just...
So when the police were going through the house collecting evidence, they found Joel Jr.'s backpack with a notebook in it called The Book of Premeditation.
Wow.
In the book, he wrote a 5-page script plan to kill his parents and how he would get rid of the evidence and get away with it. In the notebook, there's also a list of all the guys' family's assets, including both houses. Here's a sample. Star, get carving knives. Bullet, get killing knives. Quiet, multiple, to make small pieces.
Oh.
Get sledgehammer. Crush bones.
No.
Bring blender.
Oh, God,
Food grinder.
No.
Get bleach. Denture proteins. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm assuming it's some of the chemicals.
Smart enough to get into medical school, and yet he doesn't think to not write a fucking list.
It's just like
Durst.
Fucking yes. They are incredibly smart, but they're incredibly stupid with like
no common sense.
Yeah, no basic of how the world works.
Jesus.
Does not matter where they're killed. Just get rid of bloody spots to prevent evidence of time of death, not the mattress or couches. Get rid of bodies.
I like how he had to make a note of that. He's like, just a reminder, don't leave them on the couches.
For himself.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was writing instructions for somebody else. Like, oh, better not forget this.
I can't forget it.
Fabric is off limits for murder.
Yep.
So better write this down.
God.
Get rid of bodies inside house. There and my DNA already there. And
that's a fair point.
This is crossed out. Open up doggy door to provide entryway. He needs to be blamed.
Now he's trying to blame the dog?
I guess. Flush chunks down toilet, not garbage disposal.
Gross.
Garbage disposal, very Ed Kemper, but he wants to go with the toilet route.
I would have thought that the garbage disposal, well, I mean, bones would clog it up, but...
I would think it would be worse to flush it.
I would too.
Unless they're small. You fucking get a tampon down there, it'll blow up and you can't do anything.
And it's all plugged up.
Get hollow point bullets just in case. Will be seen buying bullets. Just use computer room gun. Check to make sure there are bullets. Last resort.
Do you think like every step he took, he was like, "Oh, okay, let me just check
mark."
Okay, hollow point bullets. Check. Okay. Cut my mom's head off. Put it in a soup pot. Check.
This is about his dad. He's not alive to claim her half of the insurance money. All mine, $500,000.
All mine.
Flood.
God, he sounds like a little brat.
Oh, he is.
I mean, a psychopathic brat, but like that's like something a little kid would say.
Yep. Flood the house, covers up forensic evidence. Turn heater up as high as it goes, speeds decomposition. Bleach reacts with luminol just like blood. Douse area with bleach. Big sprayer. Lie. LYE.
Yeah.
Trash compactor. Body gives times of death alibi. Don't have to get rid of body if there is no forensic evidence on the body. And all in caps, his fingerprints and DNA. That's like the end.
Whose fingerprints and DNA?
I think his
Dad's?
own. I think his. Like, check for your fingerprints, and that's my guess.
He's writing it in third person? Like, did he claim that he had, like, different personalities telling him to do this, and they planned it?
Joel Jr. pleaded not guilty.
Wow.
But also filed a motion to get the death penalty if he was found guilty. During the trial, he wore one of those plastic face shields, so everybody could see his fucking face. Everybody has a normal mask
Because it was
on.
during COVID, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was during
I
2020.
figured. Okay.
But, like, nobody has the clear face thing on. It's just him, and he did it on purpose. He shows no emotion, no body language, showing that he gave a fuck.
This is so creepy that this is, like, recent. I don't
Yeah,
like
this
it.
it was September of 2020.
Like,
The fuck?
I'm not a fan.
The defense provided no evidence to prove him not guilty.
Well, yeah.
The whole reason for the murders was so he would get $500K life insurance payout.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, $500,000 is not that much.
No, but then he would get the houses. But still, it's not. I don't understand why he thought that was
Gonna set him
But that's
for
because
life.
he's never worked for money, so he doesn't really. He never pays his bills.
Yeah, he
himself.
doesn't comprehend how much money that is.
Yeah. So, and he had to kill his father as well, so he didn't get any money, so he would get all of it.
Right.
Apparently, getting a job and being a fucking adult was worse than murdering his family that provided him with everything.
That's crazy.
And even when he had alienated, not annihilated. Even when he had
Well, both work here.
alienated his whole family, his mom was the only one to call and check on him and send him money. He showed absolutely no remorse, no conscience, no giving a fuck. And with all of the guns and ammo that was in the house on the dining room table, he could have used those to kill his parents, but apparently he really wanted to get close.
Gross.
And be brutal. The trial was only 4 days long. It had 700 pieces of evidence
Jeez.
and 27 witnesses.
Wow.
Yeah. Motherfucker was found guilty, being sentenced to life in prison. The judge said when he gave this sentence that there was no way to rehabilitate this dude. He said that Joel Jr. showed absolutely no emotion or remorse and seemed to be proud of what he's done. Right now,
He didn't even get the money and he's still proud.
Yeah.
Good
Right
one.
now, he's appealing. I doubt that'll help. P.S. Only 6 days after Joel Jr.'s conviction, he wrote a letter talking about his fantasies of gouging his cellmate's eyes out. In the letter, he said, quote, "Given that in these fantasies, it is essential that I used my fingers.
Ew.
A no sharps restriction will accomplish nothing in deterring their actualized. That is all him. And he had tried many times before this letter to get out of Gen Pop from prison. And so this was one of his manipulative ways to get solitary confinement, and he got it with that. Oh, yeah. But I think he would truly probably do it.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, because it's to get what he wants. There are no barriers.
Yeah, he gives no fucks. So he was also given more time on his sentence because of that. So he was given 2 consecutive life sentences and 4 years of abuse of a corpse. A quote from the judge in the trial said, "This wasn't just abuse of a corpse. This was the most extreme form of abuse of a corpse I've seen in 25 years. Hopefully it's the most severe I see in my entire career, however long that lasts." The end.
Well.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
I can't.
What does he look like?
Oh, let me show you this picture.
And he...
Oh my God! Whoa! Absolutely not! No! Absolutely fucking not!
Oh my God! I should have fucking recorded that.
Oh my God! That.
If you want to see, check out our Instagram because I will put a picture.
We will post it. Look at him.
Doesn't he look like just a giant toddler?
He does look like a giant toddler.
Like Stewie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely go on Instagram and check out the picture that made us both almost just shit ourselves.
Oh my God.
Tori and I both were like,
That was disgusting.
Remember who you are and what you represent. Don't represent taking people apart. That'd be appreciated. Thank you.
You will get caught.
You 100% will. I love you, everybody. I know everybody's on budget and such, but you can give us reviews.
Yeah.
And that'll pump us up, bro.
Go to Apple Podcasts and review us. And unfortunately, you can't review us on any other platform because they're stupid. But you can subscribe to any of them and it'll download it to your device. Okay. Bye, Felicia. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. We put out new episodes every single Wednesday, and if you're impatient like me, be sure to become a Patreon where you can get your episodes early each week. For as little as $2 a month, you not only significantly support the production of this podcast, but you'll also get extra benefits and perks for being one of our special Patreon weirdlings. Go to patreon.com/threesacrime for more information. For all of our links related to our socials, affiliate codes, where to listen, and everything else, go to linktree/threesacrime.